Dissecting Francis Stein podcast.
Welcome again to Dissecting Dr. Francis Stein. I am Patricia Bradshaw, the author of Introduction to Francis Stein. And in this podcast, we dig deep to, get to know Francis, to find out why she does what she does. So this week's question is, what extremes would you go through to create your perfect man? Yeah, that's what Francis tried to do. So we're gonna dive into things that she did, and then you let us know if that's something that you would do. I highly doubt it, but my panel, they'll have their opinion about it too. So I'd like for them to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Valencia Ward, mental health professional.
I'm Latoya McLennan, a social science enthusiast.
All right. Thank you both for being here. And like I said, we're going to talk about what extremes would you go to create your perfect man. Well, the character in this book, she went to some extremes. And on our last podcast, we were discussing silent rage and emotional imbalance, but then we also brought in criticize and responses. And so, just to recap, Francis couldn't take criticism at all. No. And the men that would criticize her paid dearly. Yes, they did. They paid dearly. But let's talk about the extreme. Okay. Let's talk about the extreme. Okay. Most people, to get the perfect man, I don't know, they just keep on dating. Keep dating. Francis dated 5 men and was like, nah, I'm gonna have to do something else. I got to create my own, because really, and I'm gonna tell you why she wanted to create her own man, because she didn't want to waste her time. She didn't want to waste her time trying to find the right man, which to me, like I said before, that was backwards. She's supposed to be found of a good man. Mm-hmm. But she was she was looking for one. And mm-hmm. Everyone she got hurt her. Everyone. So what are one of the extremes that she went through to get a man?
Sexual manipulation.
Yep, that's what she used. She used sexual manipulation because, that's how they dealt with her.
That's what
Yeah. They didn't want Francis for her mind. They wanted her for her body. And I'm going to tell y'all something.
She saw through that.
And she did see through it. Well, at first she didn't see through it. But after so many times, mm-hmm. It was like, it was like this. Oh, so this what y'all want mm-hmm. from me.
Okay, then.
And then what she decided was to use their own manipulation against them to get them there mm-hmm. for her to do the things that she did to them. Mm-hmm. And like I said, a red flag would have gone up if she'd have called me after ghosting me, mm-hmm. But she used their behavior to lure them.
Yeah, she just flipped the script. She knew what each one of them liked. She knew how to please each one of them. Mm-hmm. And she used that very thing to get them close enough so that she could get rid of them.
So she really took notes.
Mm-hmm. Mental notes.
Did.
She was smart. She was intelligent. The girl
took
was brilliant.
mental notes of each one of these guys and what they did to her, mm-hmm. brought to her. How they treated her, all of that matters. Mm-hmm. And, I just want to say this. I'm hoping that this podcast would help guys and girls. Mm-hmm. Help the guys understand that the smallest thing that you do could trigger a storm that you're not prepared to go through. I don't care what somebody told you or whatever. You need to be careful how you treat people.
Yes.
How you treat women. You gotta.
You never know the heart of a person.
Exactly, mm-hmm. exactly. I wrote a play. Mm-hmm. It was called 2 Men and 7 Women. Mm-hmm. And in that play, there was a guy who was a playboy. And he played the women, and until he
Sexually
ran up on the
manipulated.
wrong one. Yeah, he did. And
Yes,
he
he
was
did.
breaking hearts left and right. And he didn't think there were any consequences to that, you know. So while he didn't use sexual manipulation to get them, he lied, talking about, oh, I love you, I want to be with you, blah, blah, blah. But for Frances, they never told her that. They never told her they loved her or anything, but what they did was they got from her what they wanted. And then they mistreated her in the process. So she was willing to do whatever it took. But she wanted this perfect man. She knew that it was a man out there that had all the
All the
attributes that
attributes,
she wanted, but he really didn't. He
Right.
really didn't. They didn't. So that's why she had to build her one. She couldn't find anybody like her father, which,
Right.
you know, a lot of girls, you know, want father
like
figures.
Someone like that.
But she already had a
Yeah.
daddy, so she didn't want a daddy. That's how come James' life was taken, too. One of the reasons you keep trying to be more than my, you know, like a husband and whatever. And I don't want a husband, and you're too old. I don't want no old man, you know. So the extreme that she went to was what? Help me.
Well, look how cunning she was. How sweet and cunning she was. And she got him right in the place that she wanted him. She did everything that she felt like they wanted her to do, or everything that would get her to be closer to that person that she was trying to manipulate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she was something. And then seclusion. Look where she had her house built. She was secluded. So
So you know, I want
She-
to
she-
touch on that because I've heard you say she was antisocial and she's like she was by herself all the time. I'm antisocial. I'm by myself all the time.
well,
Well, I feel like the difference is that even though you're not in everybody's space, you do have a community of people that you communicate
Yeah.
with often.
Yeah.
That's what I see is the
The big
difference.
difference, yeah.
With Frances. You hear about Madeline being her friend, but her friend is now deceased.
Yeah.
No one else was ever mentioned as being a buddy, a confidant, associate, or anything like that. Everybody that was in her life had their place matter just for that specific thing. If you were employee, you were employee.
she was
She didn't
standing
try
by
to
with
take
you. That's how
friends.
she treated
Yeah,
you.
it was
know,
just that was
Ain't
what
nobody
it was.
buddy here.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you over there, I'm over here doing my thing.
Now I feel like one of the gentlemen, Javier,
Javier.
the lines were a
Javier.
little blurred there.
Poe Javier.
It was always a motive behind that, but that I'll address that again once you get into the characteristics of the gentleman when we get to there. But yeah, I want to put a pin in that. But
Okay.
but I can see the difference between yourself and Francis. Francis is that, you know, like I said, you have a community of people you communicate with, as to where she really did.
Let me tell you something. I'd been gone for a long time. And then I came back home and I found her. And as soon as I found her, she come giving me this book talking about, read this. Do you identify with any of it? You know, one of her mental health books or whatever. She was trying to see if I had it. I guess she was trying to make sure we could still be friends.
I said, hold on, sister, look at this.
That's what she was
I want you to see-
She wanted me to read her things, and I did. But I told her. But then it dawned on me, you just trying to see if I'm crazy, you know?
For real, I want to
And
know
like
where I stand.
if it was gonna make a difference
Yeah,
in
I
us
have to
being
know how to
around
handle
each
you.
other.
Man, okay, she my friend. I'm gonna deal with it anyway, but let me see how to handle her.
Yeah. But y'all, I want to tell you, okay, we're talking about sexual manipulation. Okay, you see the picture on the cover of Francis, right? Of the book. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is how stunning she is and alluring she is. I put her as my profile picture. And if I tell you, it were more men talking about, ooh, I want to get to know you. You're beautiful. I would do anything to be your friend. And you know what? I would bust that bubble. I say, this is my book. I do not look like that.
I
And
would
it
have
was-
used it as a
and it
marketing
was-
strategy.
but that's
Yeah.
why I said this is my book. I don't look like that. If if you like sci-fi thriller, dark humor, get Francis Stein. She'll take you on a ride. So I
For
left
real.
it like
She
that.
most
But
certainly
what
will.
I'm saying is her looks.
That's what men go
That's
after.
what
You
they
saying
were
that's
go-
superficial. That's what they go after. The looks
And that's what they wanted. And see, at first she thought, that it was really love with her and Jonathan, and it was.
It was with her.
It was.
That was her first love.
But and then she even thought that Justin was a good guy. I thought she was. We went to school. We did together. We all these, and you gonna wait till we are in our last year with this big discovery, and then you rape me. Okay, so she wasn't thinking that it was her outer beauty that was attracting them so hard that all they wanted was the sex and never her mind.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. But she began to know after they all treated her that way that this is all they want. This is all they want. They don't want anything else. If I give them this, and the thing about it, what hurts so bad is probably they didn't have to take it. They could have just asked, know.
Right.
And so we go back to that silent rage. It's
She
been
began to
there.
set her plan in motion.
It's been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sexual manipulation is part of it. She took that okay, y'all do anything for this, include take it from me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it.
To get what I want.
hurt you.
Yeah.
Or to get what I want. Because you know what? I don't never think you think she really thought about hurting them, or was she just so hell-bent on creating this
No,
man?
they had to be hurt.
She wanted to, I know to me, that girl's focus was just on what she wanted. She didn't care about how nobody else felt. She didn't care about nothing else. She just wanted what she wanted. That was her whole focus.
She wanted the
To
perfect
make
man.
a perfect man.
But she wanted to kill them for what they had
For what they
done
had
to
done
her.
to her previously.
So it was like
But see, all of them didn't do anything to her. That's what I'm saying.
all of them. Well,
In her mind,
in
they
her
did.
mind, they
Okay.
did.
In
The
her mind, they did.
only two that I felt like, probably she could have just kicked them out of her house was James. But James, she
dude.
purposely got James because, and Carl.
Yeah.
All the other ones, the other 6, yeah.
They
the
committed-
other,
They committed, yeah.
They committed
the other
war
4 or
crimes
however
against her?
many was. Yeah, they did. They committed. They committed a crime that only death could pay. And then even and this is something else. Remember in the book when the spirits are talking, the guys. They didn't know about each other.
They didn't.
They didn't know about each other, but
Man,
they
what
had
she
to
did
talk.
you
But
for?
they had to talk about why they were there. And the sad thing is, they didn't realize why they were there until after they were there.
dead.
Afterthought. Just
Afterthought.
like I mean, I don't want to put a stereotype on our male species, but it's more common than not that certain things are only an afterthought.
Yeah,
Hindsight.
And I guess
2020.
I guess that's why they say women are complex. And that we're complex in our thinking, because the things that we think about and focus on, they don't dive in deep like that.
No.
And yeah, that's sadly that's a lot of people's demise, especially in this book. But
And you know what? Okay, so yeah, and people, men. Okay, forgive me, Andy, but I'm talking about men now. So men sometimes, because they don't think it through, they say things, and I know for my own self, you say something to me, and because you're being mean or hateful, sends up a red flag about why. What I didn't do anything, so you're doing something. And they're so stupid sometimes that they don't understand that their conversation, while they're saying one thing and doing another, you're still giving yourself away with what you're trying to tell me. And because I'm one of these people that is going to try to look at all of the angles or what it could be or what it sound like, and then if I reciprocate to you something, then you change your behavior. So what I reciprocated to you was true because you changed your behavior. And then you start trying to pretend. And in my mind, why I don't want to pretend no more. I don't know what to do about it, but I'm not finna pretend. I'm not going to continue to deal with the bull. I'm not.
And that's
where Francis was as far as the men were concerned.
Well, to a certain extent, because I feel like when she decided to call them back, it was like she was saying, "Well, let's play a game."
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's let's play a game.
And then men don't look at things the same way we do. Either.
Come go get it. That's the thing.
They don't. The things that we feel deep about, men don't. They don't think about that.
And let's fix this. And it's vice versa. But let's say this: not all men and not all women do that, because there are men who were raised with good mothers and fathers, and they know the. If they were good sons and daughters, they watch, and they had sisters, and they watched. If daddy treated
they were
mama
around.
correct,
they were exposed to different things than other men.
They were exposed to loving a person
and empathy of the opposite sex.
Yeah, and the thing is, some in the world don't. What they see, maybe what they saw wasn't loyalty. You know, Papa was a Rolling Stone, and he would come by every once in a while, or even if he was there all the time, Papa had a family on the other side of town,
Or it could be a lot of them, they just weren't shown that. Like how we were discussing about the older adults
gentlemen,
and how you couldn't talk to your grandmother or mother about those type of things back in that time. They may have had a household where there was no public displays of affection, where
true.
there was,
That's
it
right.
was, the head, and everybody else had to follow the head. Mom might have been, it may have looked to a child that mom was treated just like us, the kids. You know what I mean?
And a lot of times we tend to focus on, we let our ego get us into a lot of stuff too. Because I have an auntie that's 101 years old. And my husband, which is deceased now, I used to get upset about a lot of things that he did. But when she pulled me to the side and say, baby, and she broke it down to me, men, baby, they don't think like us. When you do have somebody to put you in, put that perspective, and she sit down and just break it down to you, that's that wisdom. Yeah. So they tell you how to teach you how to deal with that. So I can see now where Francis, she lost a lot because she didn't have anybody to sit down and teach her those things.
Right.
Yeah.
But she was a manipulating little woman.
And the sexual.
Because she was, but to me, the girl was evil. She was straight up evil. Let's go on and put it where it is. She was evil because she sat down and plotted, and she was brilliant too. So she said, look how many years that girl sat down and plotted all that stuff until it came into play. And one by one, everybody that heard her, she ended up picking them off to do what?
Make her a man that she could love. Yep. And she did. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about, since we're going to pick a man now, let's talk about Thomas, the preacher man.
Okay.
That was her first kill. Wasn't it? Wasn't he her first kill?
Yeah, he was her, Mr. Green Jeans. He was first kill. And us leaving off on from the last podcast, I was saying, they had a sapiosexual relationship, which they were attracted to one another's intelligence. And even though Justin, her college mate, was intelligent, she was in love with his intelligence, and he appreciated hers, but I don't think it was as strong as a strong connection as her and Thomas's was.
It wasn't because she never did really get into him like that. See, Thomas came after Justin.
Right.
Now, Thomas, they were attracted to each other, but what she liked about him was his charisma. That's what she liked about Thomas. And that's why when she killed him, she said, I'm putting my plan in place, and I got to start with a firm foundation. That's what she had a firm foundation, which was the man of God, supposed to be the man of God. And
That
she,
was her firm
that
foundation.
was the first one, and that was like, okay, I need him to make my plan work.
But do you think she would have ever considered killing Thomas if she hadn't found out that there were other people in his space enjoying his life? Because she was dealing with that just fine. She was cool.
Okay, so what it all boiled down to was I want to take what he has and make me a man. Okay, I'm going to take what he has and he has and he has, and I'm going to make me a man. But all of these here, they did something. So while I take out what I like the most, we're going to discard the rest. That was her perspective on it.
So answer me this. Had Thomas not betrayed her in the way that had he not betrayed her, period, would he still be a candidate?
That's what I was saying.
Well, I feel like if any one of these men probably didn't do anything to her, that would have been her one. Like Jonathan. She would have went on to marry Jonathan. They would have had children, went to school, did everything. So her desire to do what she did stemmed from them hurting her.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, I can't, every time I meet a guy, he wants to attack me or he wants to hurt me. He wants to betray me or whatever. So I tell you what, I'm not finna keep on dating and experiencing hurt after hurt after hurt. But what I'm gonna do is take what I want, make me a man. That's the extreme. The extreme was because she could have swabbed.
Exactly.
She could have took blood.
Yes.
She could have asked them. And I think one of the men said that she could have just asked me, but she didn't. But see what you did, and the thing about her is when she did it, she told all of them why. She explained to their lifeless body why.
She did.
She did. Now, I know you say she's evil.
Yeah. Most definitely.
but I guess I don't see her as evil. I just see her as misunderstood.
Because, I mean, reading the book.
Good was evil.
Remember I said earlier, our method, our definition of extreme was menial to her. So in everything that she did, she has a justification for it. She does. Because I couldn't I went into it, I read it once, then I read it again. So I wouldn't be biased. You kind of have to do that, especially when it's good.
Yeah.
The second time I went into it, I was not biased, and it was like, okay, well, that's true. He did her wrong. I mean, I couldn't deny.
So that gives her the right to kill somebody because get to stepping, move it on.
But I'm gonna tell you this, just because the rape, he needed to.
Well, I would have called the police. See, that's on her. She chose not to deal with that.
No, because okay, I'm gonna go scriptural.
Okay.
Rape. You sent him to the Lord. Her family should have stoned him to death and sent him to the Lord so he could pay for the rape. Okay? Cause Father know everything. But the other ones, I feel like there was no justification for her, even though she was justified in what she did. But the rape, and then you'll get to see it in book 2. Because in book 2, Carl's gonna have to stand trial for raping, and the reason why he stands trial is because he does not repent.
You talking about Justin?
I'm talking about Justin. Who did I say?
Justin.
You said Carl.
Not Carl. No, not Carl. I'm talking about Justin. Justin goes to trial for that, and he doesn't repent. That's why he's got to pay. He is the only one that ends up in the darkness where she is.
Because he's the only one that
did not repent.
Morally If you're saying-
he did that. And I just believe that was the only justifiable kill that she did. That's the only one.
Yeah.
And because I'm gonna tell you, you can call the police. All they're gonna do is lock him up, let him go. He's still gonna be able to live again, or maybe do somebody else that way.
Yeah, I can't justify killing. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It's a
Unless
time
you-
for everything under
yeah,
the
it's a time
sun.
for everything under the sun. But in that situation,
Well,
she could have handled it differently. I mean, but since we're
they
talking
wasn't
about
gonna handle
Francis,
it, but see, they were never gonna handle it the way it was supposed to be handled. They weren't. Our society we let rapists go. We violent crimes and stuff. They kill, and then you still gotta pay for the criminals to have a cot and 3 meals a day. Why do I want my tax-paying dollars to go pay for you, a person that raped me?
But before we even get to that
we're not
part of it,
condoning.
but before we even get to that point, Francis said nothing to anyone.
anyone.
Right?
When
Silent rage.
when trauma happens, especially rape, that type
holds
of
it.
trauma, everybody does not respond the
Feel.
same. It's y'all know we've heard of a fight or flight type
Exactly.
of thing, and then we can talk about if I was ever in a situation, I do this, that, and whatever. You never know what you're going to do in that situation. You never you can hope that you would fight for your life, but it's not always like that.
Right.
Putting my 2 cents in. I'm a victim of rape,
Yeah.
and I didn't tell anybody until some years later. Because why? I suffered with anxiety. I suffered with depression. I even dove into drug use, And I'm thankful I'm sitting here and been able to tell this right now because I made the conscious decision I need to tell somebody to help myself or I won't be here on this earth any longer. But what I did not want to tell anybody. I did not want to go to the police because I didn't want to relive it again. I felt like my power was taken every time I had to talk about it because that was something that I was ashamed of. That was something that made me feel less than. I was a freshman in college. I was still a virgin out of high school. So all of the best part of, well, not all of, but for me, how I was raised, that was the best part of me. And my dream was to get married and have children and give my husband the very best that I could of me. And I no longer had that choice. So I didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to act like it never happened. I wanted to forget about it. And that was what that was. So I wouldn't have called the police just like I didn't in real life. Now, I didn't go as far as wanting to. I'm going to hunt them. I didn't want to hunt them down.
That was a positive way
went
of coping with
hunting.
it.
I went hunting.
I didn't want
And I called his daddy. And I told his daddy because I couldn't, man. And when his daddy, know what his daddy told me? Oh, man, he doing so good. He done got his degree. And I was like, but my daughter couldn't even finish school. I was so angry at his response. Okay, y'all, I'm going to say this. So because I couldn't take it under my own hands and do it, because I would have, but he was living in somewhere. And so what father did, I believe he allowed. You took that from my daughter, I raised her, and she was, because I had this thing where if you're a virgin at 16, I'll give you a sweet 16 party. If you're a virgin when you get married, I'll pay for the wedding. My baby could have still got that from me if she wanted it, because this was not her thing. But what father did in less than a couple of years, he lost his daughter to death. And to me, that's what my baby was feeling. Like what she just said. Being able to, give her best life. Your son took that, and all you can think about is him messing up his career at school. I was angry. I was so angry. I was hurt. I had to have somebody to talk to, And a lot of that for me was I didn't protect my baby. you know.
Of course.
I did. I went all this time trying to keep my kids away from family members, and then I couldn't protect my baby. Okay, but like I said, and I don't, and I'm y'all. You can call me Cole. You can say I got Francis' heart. But you know what? When I found out his daughter died, and she was maybe 12, 13, 14, I didn't feel nothing. I didn't say condolences. I don't feel nothing. I feel like your response to the trauma of my child, by the hands of your son, and you took it. It's all you could say. Yeah, God had to fix that.
Oh, there
He had to let you see how it feels.
And so this is how everything that you've expressed, that what you went through when I experienced that, this was one of the reasons why I did not want to say anything
because of her.
This is why
reaction.
some people don't say anything, because just like it was a cause that affected me, it's a trickle down effect. Now, not saying that it is right, but everybody handles everything differently. And who's to say that your rage wouldn't have lost you would have lost control?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm just saying.
I know that you're right.
And then we're talking about Francis here. She it was silent rage, but it was calculated.
It was calculated.
She was going to lose control, but it was going to be in the right time, at the right place,
and gonna be done, so she wouldn't have to go to jail.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you dealt with the situation totally different.
Yeah,
which led to a positive effect.
All right, y'all. That was kind of a deep podcast there. But we're going to wrap it up right now. And thank you for joining us on this week's Dissecting Francis of Dr. Francis Stein. And I hope that you'll continue to join us when we explore more topics about Dr. Francis Stein. Get the book. Yes, right. Get the book. The book is Introduction to Francis Stein by Patricia Bradshaw. And if you have any comments about what you've heard on this podcast, go to my Facebook page and leave me a DM, and we'll get back with you. And go to my Instagram page and also put a DM in there and ask a question. Give me your thoughts, and I'll be able to be sure to address it on our podcast. All right, y'all. Until we meet again, you guys join us next week. The information contained in this podcast is for entertainment purposes and marketing purposes only. If you're a victim of sexual assault, please contact 800-656-4673. If you're a victim of any of the topics discussed in this podcast, please contact Victim Connect Resource Center, 1-855-484-2846. And if you are in immediate danger, call 911. We are not responsible for any loss or damage resulting from listening or participating in this podcast or reliance on its content. The views expressed in this podcast are my own and do not reflect the views of employers, organizations, or institutions of those participating in the podcast. All rights are reserved. Unauthorized use or reproduction of this content is prohibited. This content is for entertainment and marketing purposes only and does not constitute medical or psychological advice. Consult with a medical or mental health professional for any issues or concerns. This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual persons or events is purely coincidental. And finally, last but not least, none of the participants of this podcast can be responsible for your use of the context, nor the information in or linked to this podcast.
I'm tired of being by myself, so tired of being on my own. I am so tired of always wanting wanting more, so tired. Don't wanna make it on my own. So open up a brand new door so I can walk through it. Never can be real sure, so I can rest in it. Need me a brand new life. I promise I will arrive this time. This time, I'm tired of being by myself. So tired of being so